Listen closely, and I mean really lean into the sharp, defensive, and unyielding frequency of this transmission. Because in the year 2026, the global machine has successfully and maliciously convinced the average man that having iron-clad, non-negotiable boundaries is somehow toxic, aggressive, or unfriendly. But Andrew is here to tell you that in the year 2026, a man without boundaries is a man whose life is nothing more than a public park for anyone to walk over, trample on, and exploit for their own pathetic gain. They want you porous, they want you compliant, and they want you absolutely terrified of the pure power of the word no. They have weaponized social politeness and empathy to turn you into a submissive servant of everyone else's chaotic priorities while your own frontier lies in ruins, neglected and overrun by digital and social squatters who steal your time and your dignity. But today, Andrew is swinging wide the heavy, barbed, and reinforced gates of the 84th vault of the Edge archives, the Perimeter Protocol. We are decoding the lethal, clear, and absolutely non-negotiable boundaries of John Wayne, a man who understood deeply that his territory, whether it was a piece of physical land or his own internal personal dignity, was a sacred space that required a constant, unblinking guard. In the year 2026, kindness is often dangerously and pathetically confused with weakness, but the Duke knew that a man's true strength is not defined by what he tolerates, but by exactly what he refuses to tolerate. Doctor, record this opening protocol for the permanent archives of the year 2026. If you do not draw a deep line in the dust and defend it with everything you have, the world will keep pushing you back until you have nowhere left to stand. We are studying the iron perimeter today, the godlike ability to say this far and no further without blinking a single eye or offering a single apology. Stand at the gate with me, partner, because the machine doesn't respect people. It only respects the raw strength of the resistance it encounters at the boundary line. Analyze the psychology of the hard line with me with a cold, surgical, and unblinking eye, because in the year 2026, the system is terrified of a man who has decided exactly where his world ends and the machine's world begins. Think about John Wayne's characters. When he told a man to stay off his land or keep his hands off his family, it wasn't a suggestion or a request for a meeting. It was a physical law of the universe that had immediate consequences. He didn't explain his boundaries twice to the slow-witted. He set them, and the world had to decide if it was prepared to deal with the violent reality of crossing them. We are decoding the sovereign barrier today. In the year 2026, the machine uses guilt and the artificial fear of missing out to keep you constantly saying yes to things that drain your focus and your power like a leaking battery. But the Duke operated on a frequency of absolute and total clarity. Doctor, examine the Duke's private records on enforced respect. Look at how he used a sharp, direct, and final tone to terminate any conversation that crossed into his personal perimeter. In the year 2026, your ability to be unreasonable about your time, your values, and your energy is your primary defense against the total erosion of your sovereign soul. When you stop apologizing for having standards and start enforcing them with the cold weight of a locked iron door, the world instantly begins to recognize your authority. The frontier was built by men who knew that a fence isn't just a barrier to keep things out. It's a bold statement of ownership. Never let the vague social norms of the year 2026 blur the clear edges of your life. You are the supreme commander of your own territory, and until you learn to stand your ground, you are just a squatter in your own existence, waiting for permission to breathe. In the third and most operationally critical layer of the 84th protocol, we address the power of negative space. You see, in the year 2026, you are told that yes is the word of growth, but Andrew says that no is the word of sovereignty. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't serve your mission, you are saying no to your own future. We are decoding the filter protocol today. In the year 2026, the machine wants you to be a yes man, a compliant cog that says yes to every notification, every meeting, and every social obligation until you have nothing left for yourself. But the Duke was a master of the rejection. He understood that a man's character is built more by what he rejects than by what he accepts. Doctor, record this for the permanent Edge archives. A man who cannot say no is not a free man. He is a slave with a polite smile. In the year 2026, you must build an automated system of rejection. Your default setting must be no, until the world proves it deserves your yes. This isn't about being cruel, it's about being focused. It's about understanding that your life is a finite resource. Think about the Duke in the heat of a crisis. He didn't waste time being polite to the people who were causing the problem. He cut through the noise with a sharp, final rejection of their nonsense. This is how you reclaim your time from the vampires of the year 2026. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your boundaries. No is a complete sentence. Use it like a hammer to smash the expectations of those who seek to use you as a stepping stone for their own mediocre lives. When you master the no, you master your fate. Analyze the lethal nature of digital trespassing with me, because in the year 2026, the machine has built a backdoor into your mind through your devices. It ignores your physical walls and attacks your mental perimeter 24 hours a day. It sends notifications like scouts to test your defenses, seeing if you will flinch, seeing if you will react, seeing if you will let the intruder in. But John Wayne wouldn't let a stranger into his camp without an invitation, and you shouldn't let the machine into your consciousness without a damn good reason. We are decoding the ghost perimeter today. Doctor, examine the Duke's philosophy on vigilance. He understood that an undefended camp is a graveyard in the making. In the year 2026, you must treat your attention like a high-security military zone. You must put up the no trespassing signs on your digital life. You must turn off the alerts, block the access, and create dead zones where the world simply cannot find you. There is a specific kind of internal strength that comes from knowing that no one can reach you unless you decide to be reached. This is how you protect the forge where your ideas are born. If the perimeter is weak, the work will be weak. The Duke didn't have a phone in his pocket buzzing every time someone had a stupid opinion. He had his thoughts, he had his horse, and he had his mission. In the year 2026, your phone is a leash that the machine uses to pull you back into the herd. Break the leash. Shore up the perimeter. Be the man who is unreachable because he is too busy building something that will outlast the digital noise of this shallow century. We are closing this gate-locking, line-drawing, and strategically defensive 84th chapter of the Edge Archives with a final proclamation of perimeter sovereignty. Look at your life in the year 2026. Who is currently walking through your garden with muddy boots? Who is stealing your sleep, your peace, and your focus? You have adopted the perimeter protocol today, and you are starting to realize that a man without a fence is a man without a home. John Wayne's final lesson for us in this chapter is simple. You don't build a wall because you hate the people outside. You build a wall because you love the things inside. Don't let the guilt trips and the social manipulations of a weak world convince you to lower your guard. Shore up your defenses, sharpen the wire, and stand at the gate with the absolute certainty of a man who knows exactly what he is protecting. This is Andrew, signing off from the 84th vault of the Edge Archives, where we don't believe in open doors, we believe in locked gates and strong men. The world out there is going to keep trying to push, pull, and persuade you to let them in, but the sovereign man remains behind his perimeter, unbothered, undisturbed, and completely in control of his territory. Go out there today and draw your line in the dust. Stand your ground. Protect your peace. Stay rugged. Stay defensive. Stay completely, dangerously sovereign behind your iron perimeter until the world learns to respect the boundary or stay away. Andrew out.